But I have the other ones available in there.
Wait.
But
What? So, Luke, what are you drinking today? Coca-Cola.
Morning on the way to the gym and set my ukulele on top of the car and then drove off down the road.
I mean, a bow after that. Thank you. All right. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Look at that.
I learned my lesson from last night. What a welcome, thank you. I drink the most fruity drinks imaginable.
It's laundry day.
it's laundry day.
So you always wear hats with laundry day?
I'm going to do you a favor, James. I just say, later.
So how did you two meet?
Well, there's these places in San Francisco. I think they're called bathhouses.
It's like one of those things where everyone wants to focus on like the big events that happen, but day to day, what we're doing is we're on like all of our draw streams, smoking weed, making comics. It's chill. It's so much fun, and like
Yes. Man, I'm not a YouTuber. I do this because I want to sell comic books. Woo! Yes! Yes, guys! It is Sunday. You know, you know what that means. Another episode of A Drink with Brink. Calm down, Dave. Calm down. I always need to get myself pumped up before the show, you know, to get and have a fantastic guest. So I'm really excited. Anyway, let me get through my intro without stuttering. So, welcome everyone to A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their hopes and their dreams and their lives, but also their books and their campaigns. Because frankly, I'm kind of done with mainstream. I'm kind of bored with mainstream, and indie is where the passion is. Okay, guys, I hope you're all having a fantastic weekend and a nice Sunday. My Sunday, I've been working, of course, I've been working, and I've been working on the upcoming campaign. We are preparing the campaign for our trade paperback of Perfect 10. So Perfect 10, the Perfection Collection. Issues 1 through 6 will be collected in one massive book. It's now 192 pages, guys. But we might keep adding stuff. You never know. You never know. So, and the link to that, so you can sign up, get notified. We have the pre-launch page live on Kickstarter. The campaign will also be on Fund My Comic, but I can't do a pre-launch page on Fund My Comic because well, we just can't. So, but you can get notified through Kickstarter, right? And I will likely launch the Fund My Comic campaign first, so earlier. And I've been thinking, because I like to support Fund My Comic, it's a platform for creators, by creators, and I like to give. If you back there, you might get a little bit of a better deal. So anyway, I hope I can launch that soon. So I'll keep you guys posted. All right, guys. Let's see what's going on in the chat today. As always, we are broadcasting through the Madness Network. So several channels. So I get like comments from everywhere. Gordon, good brother, welcome, sir. Welcome, Gordon, good brother. I love your avatar, sir. Wonderful. Welcome. Creators outlets. Hail drinks with Binks. Yes, that's also possible. Welcome, creators outlets. Area Blackness, Dave. Area, long time no see. Wow, that's amazing. it's been a while. It's been a while that I heard from you, Aria. Nice to see you. Nice to see you, sir. By the way, guys, this is today's campaign. The link to today's campaign, I pinned it in the chat on my own channel, but you can find it in the chat wherever you are. The Madness Entertainment Group, Pops. Welcome, Pops. Welcome, sir. John from John's Longbox. Welcome, John. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome. We have Grey Wolf is watching right now. Grey Wolf, welcome, sir. Hiya, chat. Hiya, Grey Wolf. Let me see if I missed anyone. AGE Comics, welcome, AGE Comics. How are you today? Nice to see you. And of course, as always, we have Mike. Cheers, Dave. Have a great Sunday. Drink. Don't forget the ticker. Yes, thank you so much. I forgot it last week. So thank you for reminding me. And belatedly, I received my parcel from Pau. Thank God. I wanted to to send you a message about that, but okay. So from Pau earlier this week, safe and sound. Thank you very much, as always. Well, thank you, Mike, for ordering and for the patience. It took a bit too long to get to you, but you have it. So awesome. And welcome 58 Underground. Cheers, Dave. Welcome 58 Underground. All right, guys, enough rambling. So it's time to bring the guests on. We have a wonderful guest today, never been on the show before. I think many of you know him. Some of you might not, but this is great. So I can introduce you to him and him to you, and so you can discover more cool creators with more cool books. Right. All right. Let's do this. Let's bring him on, ladies and gentlemen. May I have a very warm welcome for the guest of the hour, Mr. Dan Sehn.
Wow, that was some applause there. Feel like I should be coming down the WWE ramp.
Yeah. You need your own your intro theme. So if you had one, Dan, if you had your own intro theme, what would it be?
Well, I mean, with Thunderzone Comics right now, I'd have to do that AC/DC Thunder.
Yes, of course. Thunderzone. Yeah, I browsed my books today to see what I got, and I got a whole stack of Thunderzone books. Look at this.
Yeah.
Defenders of Europe, and I got the Squad.
Yeah,
Thunderzone.
Squad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I got the Big City Blues.
Yeah, that's
that. And I got Supercross.
But
I got more.
I got
more, but I couldn't find it all. I have books from Argo 5, Argo Comics, and some of these books also feature characters from the Jamiverse, which is really, really cool. Okay, before we dive into that, Dan, I need to ask you the question to kick things off. What are you drinking right now?
Drinking this special concoction right here. Leather stain. No. I'm actually just drinking diet iced tea, but
okay,
it's for a little project I'm going to be doing on a pair of sneakers. I'm a bit of a sneakerhead, and I'm going to customize a pair that I have, a pair of Jordans,
right?
To make them a little closer to what the concept art was for the shoe. So, I guess they have my other hobbies: sneakerhead, bodybuilding, comic books.
Okay, interesting. But so you got me curious. I don't quite get it yet. You're drinking some tea because you're making sneakers, but you're changing them?
Not related to that.
All right.
Not related at all. Crystallite ice tea.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Phew. Right, Dan. It's really cool to have you on the show. You've been working in indie comics for a long time. You've been making comics before I even started to really make them, and I read books that you made before I began creating my first Earthling comic. Right.
Yeah,
So
sure.
that's quite the you have a very big catalog, right?
Yes.
Big catalog of comics. How did you get into comic books?
Yeah, I liked comics before I could even remember.
Right.
So my parents were buying them for me before I had the ability to, go in the store and put down any money on the counter. So
Right.
yeah, I mean, early on. And there was reruns of the Adam West TV show, the George Reeves Superman show. So just watching that and having these comics, it was a passion that just never went away.
Sure. So it's not really like, do you remember the first moment that you knew this is my thing? The first image you saw, or I know sometimes
Yeah.
sometimes this happens. With me, it was this crossover comic between Marvel DC, and had this crossover, this Treasury book, Treasury
Man,
like
Spider-Man,
Skies, Superman, Spider-Man. Yeah, it was the first superhero comic that I saw in the Netherlands when I was like still cute, and that was the book, and I was like, I don't know who these characters are, but I wanted to know more.
yeah, so I do not have like a
Right.
thrilling origin tale like that. Being that again, I have no idea which was the first comic.
Mhm.
It was, I know it was prior to me going to school, so I couldn't,
All right,
if
sure.
you're like 4 or something,
Right.
and your parents are just throwing stuff at you, you don't even. I could, before I went to school, I could write Superman, but I would get the S backwards sometimes.
Oh
You know.
yeah.
So yeah, the first Treasury book DC put out had a painted Superman cover, and I remember getting that. It was $1.
Crazy.
Brought it home, and my brother was like, "Oh, it's behind the couch. Way to go! Here it is.
Yeah.
Hide and seek." Then he folded it, sat on it,
What?
yeah, and said, "Where is it?" And I was like, "I don't know." But he pulled it out, and it's ruined. So
Oh no.
still have that damaged copy.
Oh
Could
man.
eventually get a replacement that's in good shape.
Oh, you got a replacement?
Yeah.
Oh good. So you're not traumatized for life. That's good.
Yes, that is true.
Crenshaw is with us in the chat. Welcome, sir. How is it going, everyone? Well, I'm fine. And how are you, Dan?
Doing okay. Can't complain.
There you go. And Mike says, an Ewoks comic without front back covers printed by Marvel Star imprint is the one of the earliest comics that I still have. Without front, yeah, that was crazy. They used to like rip off covers of comics they couldn't sell or something.
Yeah, to return them. So when they was
Yeah.
on newsstand, they would get
Right.
the money back, and they can give these coverless comics out for free.
Holy shit. I would cry if someone ripped off the cover of my comics. So, right. So is it somehow? So you also do bodybuilding, right?
That's correct.
You ran competitions and everything.
I ran competitions, I judged competitions, and I competed in competitions, all in like drug-free organizations where they did testing for that no one's on any steroids or anything like that. So yeah, I think there was a issue of Muscle and Fitness that had Lou Ferrigno as the Hulk on it.
Oh,
Okay?
yeah.
So I'm like, oh, the Hulk. Let me check this out.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm flipping through, and these guys all look like the superheroes, you know.
Yes.
That's how you should look, I thought. And
Right. So your
got into
fascination
it.
for comics led you to bodybuilding.
That's correct.
Excellent. So, but you didn't know the television series just yet from the Hulk. You saw it first. You saw Lou Ferrigno first.
Oh no, I had seen the show.
Okay.
You know, back then, before there was all these Marvel movies and everything, you were
Yeah.
starved for any representation of
Yes.
superheroes on TV. So as I said, those Adam West and George Reeves reruns, those Hulk movies, a Hulk show that later had made-for-TV movies with wacky versions of Thor and Daredevil.
Oh, yeah. Right.
You know, they had the Spider-Man TV show. They had a Doctor Strange made-for-TV movies. Captain America made-for-TV movie. These are all horrible by today's standards, but
Yeah.
it's all we had. So we were like, yes, this is great.
Yeah,
Super-
but I
friends, you know.
I gotta say I haven't seen most of them. I know because here in the Netherlands they had like a selection that
Okay.
we could see, right? So we saw the Hulk, right? And I remember vaguely this Spider-Man series, which was basically terrible. But as a child, you just accepted it. It was the best thing ever, you know. So so it's like this imagination. It can take you a long way. You kind of know it is fake. It's not real. It's not really like the comics, but it's cool anyway. And do you still watch the modern stuff? Do you still like modern?
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I do. I just saw Thunderbolts actually on DVD. Finally, Blu-ray came out, and yeah. So I mean, I'm a little behind on watching all the Marvel Disney Plus shows.
Oh, yeah.
I've watched some of it, but haven't watched
Well,
all of them.
well, you're no longer starved for it, sir.
Yes,
So that's
there's an abundance.
that's a bit too much nowadays.
I was watching
Uh,
Jupiter's Legacy. Who would know that would get a show? You know, and that was
Which
on,
one?
Jupiter's Legacy.
Oh yeah, I saw that one a few weeks ago. I watched it.
Yeah,
From Mark Miller, right?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. It was fine. It was fine.
yeah. Except it got canceled, so we don't.
Oh, it was cancelled. I don't know.
Yeah.
I never read the comic either, and sometimes that's for the best. So you have no comparison. So you don't get distracted by
Yeah.
changes. You know. Gordon, the good brother, says the comic book to bodybuilding pipeline is real. Yes, that's a thing.
Yeah, somewhat.
Really? All right. Lou Ferrigno, the guy from King of Queens. Yeah, that
Yeah,
one. The same
on
one.
that one.
Hey, I'll always remember the Hulk TV movie that had Thor show up because Thor showed up. John says Colonel Strong is gonna appear in a comic sold in comic shops. What's this about, Dan?
Well, you know, with Diamond on the ropes or whatever, it seems like there's a lot of companies that are out there starving for some books to put out. I've yet to go that route. Advent Comics obviously went that route, and John is stating that he's going to go that route. So, yeah, the stores are much more indie friendly right now,
Right.
and I'm guessing Patriarch is the book that he has guest starring Colonel Strong. So I'm guessing he has Patriarch now going through one of these comic distributors. So that'll be very cool.
That's really cool. When you see your own books at a store somewhere, that's crazy. That's nuts. So before we started the show, you told me that you and John know each other, right?
Yeah, actually, that
That's
Colonel
a surprise
Strong,
to me.
yeah, the Colonel Strong character he's talking about is from Mike Descharnes, who played Dungeons and Dragons with John. So they were good friends growing up. They both worked at the Incredible Pulp on Long Island,
Yeah, that's a
which was the
fantastic
comic
name.
store I went to,
Hmm.
and they were both working there. So I got to know them from there before any of us were publishing.
Right.
And then eventually Mike told me he was looking to make a book. I hooked him up with an artist, and he got a number of issues done of Marshall Strong. When I started up the Thunderzone imprint, which
Yeah.
Argo Comics is just my character, Thunderzone is a shared universe with multiple creators. So
Right.
Mike brought Marshall Strong to that Thunderzone imprint.
Hmm.
And yeah, so but Marshall Strong was part of their, I think it's called Villains and Vigilantes role-playing game campaigns.
Yeah.
And John was the dungeon master, or whatever they call it in V&B. So he orchestrated a lot of these adventures. So in that respect, Marshall Strong was in that Patriarch universe, and now he has Colonel Strong in that universe. But Marshall Strong, of course, is part of the Thunderzone universe, which is a shared world. So whether or not those worlds are interconnected, or if there's an Earth 1 and Earth 2 Marshall, that's still to be determined.
Wow. So basically, so there's a lot to talk about. I think
Yeah.
I think we need 2 hours. But so you have the Thunderzone, right? So you started with your label Argo Comics, right? Later, a few years back, you started up Thunderzone because you wanted to publish other people's books. What was the concept?
I was in a couple of these comic collectives where basically, a number of people publishing together have a broader voice than one person, just saying, here's my books, here's my books, here's my books. I figured it was a couple times where I brought books to these collectives where they were a universe where they were going to have multiple creators. The first one kind of folded, and the second one did as well. But I said it's a good idea still, and I like the idea of, I'm a social person. I like chopping it up as we're doing now with another creator.
Right.
So I said, let me try this out. I answer my emails, which is a step above what I had seen going on.
Yeah, that helps.
Well, someone DMs me, I'm going to get back. So I said, let me do this. And it became a cool exercise in the fact that Argo Comics, just all my characters, and I'm doing everything, devising how everything is going to go. But now with this Thunderzone and having other people's titles and having them all on the same earth and doing that Thunder Guard book, which brought a bunch of them together, it's just like it's an interesting exercise in publishing.
Mm-hmm.
The same as when I did Argo 5 issues with guest stars where Love Child appeared.
Yes. Excellent.
That was like, okay, it's other people's characters. This is cool instead of me just doing the story from scratch and only using my characters. So yeah, Thunderzone, it became a new challenge and something to keep me on my toes. And in the fact that Argo 5 right now, I have issue 48 at the printer.
That's nuts. That's
yeah,
crazy.
I mean,
these are numbers, man. For indie comics, these are crazy numbers.
Yeah, without without mainstream distribution. But
Yeah.
In doing so, they say you do 10,000 hours or something, you become a master or whatever. So Argo 5 is kind of my like training ground. And I'm quite proud of the whole series.
Sure.
But now when I brought into my own titles in Thunderzone, like Nature Man and Big House Blues, Junkyard Joe, these are books I think I had honed my craft on, and I'm quite proud of those titles. Nature Man especially, which again was a new exercise in working on a public domain character.
Yeah. I have that one, but not here. But I have Big House Blues. So this is your creation also?
Exactly. Yeah.
So is a Thunderzone, is that a universe not connected to the Argo universe?
Exactly. It's its own universe. None of those characters, are in the Argo Comics universe.
So why wouldn't you want this guy in the Argo universe?
Well, again, the Thunderzone universe is a shared universe. So then I would be bringing Marshall Strong and Supercross and the Squad and all these characters into the Argo Comics universe. And it would just be
sure,
so intimidating for anyone to get in.
Right.
It's already, with published
what
over 100
I
comics.
mean, now you have like so you create a lot of characters, and you have most of your characters inhabit your Argo universe, right?
That's
and
correct.
then you made some specifically for the Thunder Zone.
Exactly.
But don't you want them to also interact somehow?
I could do a crossover. No one's preventing me from crossing over with me.
Sure.
But
Right.
it could happen. There has been already a few times where Thunderzone characters who have cross-dimensional abilities have popped up in an Argo comic.
Of course, this is comics. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything you want. Gordon says, John, you've got your tentacles in a lot of hostess pie, sir. Okay. Wait. No, he's the security guard from the Hulk. Oh yeah, that was right. Ang Lee's Hulk, right?
That
the movie from Ang Lee, you had the Hulk.
The Ang Lee, yeah.
Yeah. That was
security guard Lou Ferrigno.
That was great. If I ever think of Ang Lee's Hulk, unfortunately, I first think of Mutant Poodle. Yeah, that was interesting. That was an interesting idea.
Yeah, I didn't like the madder Hulk gets, the bigger Hulk gets. That was.
Oh yeah, it was a little bit too big and a little bit too bright. So
but they made him grow like
yeah,
Giant Man or something.
Like Mole. Wait. TJ Inks, welcome. Thiago, guys. Thiago is a wonderful inker, and he inked part of Perfect 10 Book 5. Welcome, Thiago.
He inked the cover for Argo 5 Volume 3, which is on the way. I have Volume 1 and 2, collecting the first 6 issues and the next 6 issues. That's offered in the campaign.
Plus, you had some covers also made by Alan Goldman, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
He had Global Impact was my last Kickstarter.
Oh, right.
Argo inked the cover of that.
Oh,
beautifully.
Fantastic stuff. We have. Wait, I don't want to miss anyone. Rasmane, welcome, sir. Welcome. Don't read my side comments. Okay, I won't. Right. Okay, Dan. So that's crazy. So because I would. So when do you sleep, sir? Because you make so many books, and then you publish other people's books. You run campaigns. You have to write. You have to do so much, right? So I drive myself crazy running like 3 titles, and you have like a gazillion. So how do you do it? What's your secret?
Yeah, well, that's why I'm going to the gym and training, just to be able to publish comics.
Right.
I have to keep in shape just for that. So, no, I mean, I guess organizational skills or whatever, maybe, or, I just try to stay on top of everything. If
Mhm.
I have an artist who is, handed in a page and doesn't have more script, that's my top priority. I get him more script. If a colorist is out of pages, I get him more pages to color, and I just try to keep the ball rolling on, multiple levels.
Right.
And also in that respect, I was able to, shift into comics full time. I had a past career in law enforcement, which
Ooh.
I really didn't publicize at that point. And, in fact, some creators might even say, "What do you do for a living?" And I really couldn't answer, being that,
I remember that I asked you also, and you couldn't tell me.
yeah, it's kind of like, when we do these comics and we have them having secret identities to protect their loved ones,
Yeah.
in the real world, it kind of applies in the fact that if I'm all out there, super public that I'm a cop, and there are gangs at that point when I was still working who, will get in by killing a cop or doing something, that becomes a dangerous situation. So it felt rude at the time, and, I couldn't really, but it's kind of like it's a policy. When you're working that job, you don't really publicize the fact of what you're doing for a living.
Right.
So, that also, in working that police job and bringing customers to the corrections officers, I got to be good friends with corrections officers. And that's why Big Ass Blues has a level of authenticity to it,
Right.
in the fact that I've been to the prisons, and I've, it's superhero corrections officers with supervillain prison. So that's the premise of it. And, when people hire police to do this research or whatever about our crime fighting genre, I'm already, queued up on that.
Wow. Welcome, Flip City Magazine. Welcome, welcome. Wait, what else? Oh, okay. So just like your bodybuilding, can we also connect your job that you had to your love for superheroes? You wanted to do something with protecting people, or?
Yeah, I mean, to a degree.
Maybe it's
I
stuck in
mean,
there
you do
somewhere.
have a special car and a utility belt.
Yeah.
So there are parallels to be
Yes.
to be construed. But my favorite was Superman, and there's actually obviously no flying around on patrol. So, but yeah, I mean, there was an underlying thing about doing the right thing, and fighting crime and everything. So yeah, and I mean the bodybuilding came in as well for that, because even if you're not going to have to roll around with anyone or anything like that, sometimes just looking like you could is part of it, to de-escalate a situation before it starts, because you'll go to a lot of homes for domestics, and a lot of things may be going on, or you might have a criminal at a store or whatever, and a good physical presence might deter the idea of, let me try to push this guy and get away.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow. So I brought up your one of your pages. You have a shop on indieplanet.com. I had my books there also years back. So basically what this is, people can order stuff and they will be printed on demand, correct?
That's correct.
Right.
And I do keep the Kickstarter books and the Indie Planet books separate. So if you're buying books on Kickstarter, they're not going to eventually show up in Indie Planet. Those are separate titles.
Right. Yes. I am posting this in the chat, guys. This is the Thunderzone page. So this is all material from other like creators that you publish.
Yeah, I mean, I put up a couple issues of Nature Man just to have my own presence there, and Junkyard Joe was mine. But the rest is all, collaborators who came in with their own books, and I review them, see the level of quality to them, the potential, and if they fit well, you don't want to double up on a concept. So if they fit well, then yeah.
So what if there are people right now watching creators? They're making the comic book, and it might be interested to submit those to your Thunderzone label. What are the qualifications that you're looking for?
Well, I don't really crowdfund books that aren't completed. So you would need a completed book.
Oh, you need a completed book, so no books that still need to go through crowdfunding.
Yeah, because there have been publishers who got in trouble publishing someone else's book. It wasn't done, or they didn't have the files. If I am putting this book up on Kickstarter or even in the store, I need all the files to know that I can follow through, because I can't, damage my reputation by that, not being able to fulfill. So, I mean, usually people send me a PDF since it has to be a completed book, and then I can review it. And it is like a superhero universe. It's somewhat likened to the early Image universe, where they all had their own studios, but they all inhabited the same Earth. And you mentioned Mole before from Wildcats and everything. So I was all down with all those books, and some great artists who came out at that time.
Man.
So yeah, I mean, the art writing is a certain quality. It works well in the universe. Just whatever criteria, intangibles. Anyone could contact me on social media and talk about it.
But do people need to know about this universe, or are you the one who tries to connect everything?
Yeah, I mean, we don't have. It's been a short history for this universe.
Sure. Yeah.
So it hasn't been like there's a lot of hard and fast rules. But yeah, I mean, if one person has a version of Thor in one comic, and then another one has a version of Thor in their comic, and we'd either have to explain why there are two Thors running around.
Yeah. Multiverses.
Yeah.
Done.
But well, this is all supposed to be a shared Earth.
Yeah.
So that's where things just have to be hammered out. No pun intended.
Right. So, by the way, Nature Man wasn't that a public domain character?
That is, yeah. And again, that was a great exercise in working on a different type of thing. I bought all the appearances of Nature Boy, which was a Charlton comic created by Superman co-creator Jerry Siegel.
Oh yeah.
And John Buscema. And there's a lot of usage of Daredevil or Black Terror. Some of these characters get a lot of usage. I hadn't really seen Nature Boy used. So I said, and I mean, Superman's my favorite corporate character. So I said, this is great. Jerry Siegel co-created him. I'd love to, and it seemed to have like a very cool history behind it. He has like a pantheon of gods, kind of like Shazam got his powers from, but most of these gods were fictitious, made up by Jerry Siegel. And yeah, so those stories, the public domain stories, all existed, and now he's back years later, and of course, time has passed. He's no longer Nature Boy. He was in a stasis, so he didn't age as much as he should have. But he
Right.
is at this point Nature Man,
Yeah.
and not being Nature Boy does cut down a little bit on the Ric Flair, references where everyone thinks of him as the Nature Boy.
Yes.
I don't know if you follow pro wrestling.
No. 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 But it sounds like something that also is like a responsibility. You take this character that's created by Buscema and Siegel, right?
Yeah.
And you basically continue this legacy. So you have to want to do it right. You don't want to do it half-assed. So did you use a lot of the original story, or did you just kind of soft rebooted it?
Well, I did use, no, I didn't make it like those didn't exist. I did use some of that. I did tie some of that into the 4-issue series. And I brought in other public domain characters. And again, if I brought in a character, I got all the appearances, and I read physically, so it's not easy. But a lot of them have been collected in various collections. So the Dart, Kismet Man of Fate, and well, I have a villain who Stardust, the super wizard. I already put out issue 4 on Kickstarter, so I guess I don't have to keep that a secret. So yeah, I utilized their stories and tried to figure out ways to interconnect them. And again, even though some of them took place in the 50s, some of them took place in the 60s, I, weaved it in a way that they all existed and it all made sense for them to interact.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Great. Wait, let me also, I wanted to show this to people, right? Because I want to share this tab now, because this is your other Indie Planet store of Argo Comics, because I want people to see how much you've produced. Look at this. This is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But you've been doing this for a long time. So was Argo also the first, your first creator-owned title? Or did you have something before that?
I first put out 2 pinup books just to have the characters and the names somewhat copyrighted. And then the Argo Comics Anthology, actually, was a 6-issue series. But along the way of that, I did put out Argo 5 while doing the Argo Comics Anthology, and then followed that with Sorority of Power. So those were the first 3 series that I put out. But Argo Comics Anthology was first. Argo 5 started up during that production, and then Sorority of Power.
This is great. Really cool, man. I love it. Wait, let me go back. Look at this. Look at these titles. I will put this in the chat also if people want to check it out. And this is Argo Comics. If you want to check out what Dan has, and if you want to buy something, this is where you can go. There we go. I put it in the chat. Right, guys, that's a lot, but we now have to go to your campaign, because you have, just before we went live, you launched a campaign, correct?
That is correct. Yeah.
All right, let's bring that up.
Gladiatra versus Law and Order.
Yes. Or Law and Order versus Gladiatra.
Yeah, they were arguing over top billing, so I alternated a little bit.
The pint-sized police officer, Law and Order, fantastic name, by the way, takes on the sultry superwoman Gladiatra. So Gladiatra is from Argo 5.
Yeah.
And Law and Order, is she more like a street level character? I don't know much about her.
She appeared in Argo 5. She's in the second trade, her first appearance.
All right.
And Yeah, she's bounced in a few issues, and she's at her own 3 specials, more like street level, but there's some comedy in it because it was actually a friend of mine who was like below 5 feet and wanted to become a police officer, and her name was Lauren. So I said, oh, I created this character and brought her this drawing that I did. Here you are as a character, Law and Order, and that was before I was publishing.
Wow.
And then as time went on, I found a use for the character in the Argo Comics universe. But yeah, so her character, based on again that story, lives on to this day, and I do have a Christmas special with her, a Halloween special with her, a summer special with her, and I'm nearing the end of production of a Easter special. So she'll
Okay.
have 4 of her own rather than a series. She just has one shots.
Damn, will you do specials with every holiday? That's crazy.
That's
this
Stuart Black's cover.
Stuart Black, yeah.
For
It's
Horse
very
Fund.
has a very recognizable style.
The first cover was Carlos Granda, who does Geek Girl. I've always loved his work.
Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, then we have Stuart Black.
And they do fight
He has the 4 Horse Femmes. Is that his series?
Yep.
Yeah, right. Then we have this is by Freitas.
Yes.
Cool.
Elsie Freitas, who again, these are all people. That's a great thing about indie comics. You admire people's work.
Yeah.
And then you may not always be able to afford a full story from everybody, but just even getting your characters drawn by them for a cover is fantastic.
Yeah, that's really cool. Is it does it have in this world, with this character Law and Order, is it explained why she's was so short, or is it just this thing? And
that isn't explained until the upcoming Easter special.
Oh,
but the yeah, I mean, the real life model was quite short,
right?
And perhaps I lowered it even a little bit more for comedic effect.
For the effect, yes.
Because and again, it gives artists some trouble sometimes because they're so used to okay, what is it, 5'6" or 5'8"?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe if it's She-Hulk, then you can be big. But having a smaller character kind of sometimes throws people for a loop, and
especially when she has like the regular proportions, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So
what's her official height? Do you know?
4'6".
4'6". All right. Welcome, There's Artist. Welcome. He says, cool looking art. Yeah, absolutely. And then, this is by Leo.
Condon, who is the
yes.
Artist of Argo 5. He's done Argo 5 since he'll do issue 37 to 50.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Mike says, that's a big package catalog to be proud of, Dan. In league with the likes of Alterna, and Jamie is getting there. Take that, EVS. Okay. Yeah, you got a lot of books.
Andre Leal, who you're quite familiar with, did this cover?
Yes, this is by, I don't even have to look. This is by Leal.
Yep, Andre Leal.
Andre Leal, yes.
Yep.
I recognize the shapes.
Big Perfect 10 fan. Yeah, the shapes, exactly.
Yeah. Nice. Really cool.
And this is one of the interior artists, Brad Green. So I had 2 artists do this story. Brad Green had started it off, and he had done a couple issues of Argo 5 previously. So
really? Yeah, this is really good. Look at the background also. Really nice.
Yeah, he's a fantastic artist, and like I said, he does part of the story, and then Up, this is a cover by Fred Bennis.
Fred Bennis. That is
Now,
cool.
Fred Bennis, brother of well-known Ed Bennis.
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
he is part of the Ed Bennis studio, and I've been, waiting to utilize this cover because it was done a little bit ago, but I didn't have the book done. So,
Yeah. But you knew that it was coming. So do you know, like, years before what you wanted to make? So do you have like stories already like visualized like years beforehand?
yeah, not always. I mean, this one just had some art delays, which is again part of why it got shared as a story. Where if production is slow on something, I'm always working on 7 other books, so I'm not really usually rushing an artist.
Yeah.
So some of these things are just late in my mind. They're not late to anyone else because I know I don't announce them. I don't start publicizing things like years in advance just to have something to post.
Yes.
I always have something to post. So until something is nearing completion or ready for publishing, but yeah, I don't generally. Argo 5, maybe I had a couple years lead on where I want to go with the story, but on titles in general, not always.
Right. Yeah. So we have some preview pages right here.
Yep.
Cool. So can you tell us a little bit about the concept here, about the story or the characters?
Well, let me just see what I'm looking at here.
So here's Gladiatra in space.
Oh yeah, Arnold. Well, that's Arnaldo Jr. actually, who did the second half of the story. So Brad Green did the first. Arnaldo Jr. Picked it up from there. In a past issue of Argo 5, Law and Order had kind of an affair under mind control with Shazrath of Argo 5. So that put them on the wrong side of the table from each other from the get-go. So now we have her again crossing paths with Shazrath, again flirting, and Gladiatra, keeps an eye on her boyfriend Shazrath. So, as it turns out, they butt heads due to that interaction.
Right. Sim Inkslayer, welcome, Sim. Welcome. Right. So when you so you have your main team, they're basically the main team of your superhero universe, Argo 5, correct?
Yes.
So why are they called Argo 5, and how did you come up with this specific combination of 5 characters?
Okay. Well, that goes back to Argo Comics, which, I'm a bit of a mythology buff, and you had Jason and the Argonauts, and their ship was the Argo.
Yeah.
And the Argo carried Greece's greatest heroes. So in, my putting on my Stan Lee hat of promotion, I figured that Argo Comics would have the greatest heroes of today. So Argo came from that. And then I always thought 5, we all love comics with the 10 in the title, of course. But when it comes to a super team, 5 characters seem to be a sweet spot for me.
Yeah.
That Argo Comics anthology actually had a bunch of teams that were mostly 5, some 6, Sorority Power 6. So I liked the 5 character teams. I had Argo Comics. They were going to be the premier team. So Argo 5. And actually, some earlier drafts had different characters before I settled in on these characters.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I have a book, The Paladins, which are pretty much discarded Argo 5 members.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, so I combine them into a team. So yeah, then I had sketchbooks where I just created a couple hundred characters, and I was always just drawing in the sketchbook, showing my friend Cameron, who went to that same store that John Longbox and Mike Descharnes worked at. So we were friends in grade school, junior high, high school, college.
Mhm.
And I would draw these characters and show him. So again, after a few characters I discarded, these characters I felt were a good balance. And I had a mythological god with a lot of super strength. Gladiatra is more of like a superwoman. I had a martial arts character, a science fiction character, a genie character for a magic element. So it just, out of all these characters I created, I just thought this was a great balance.
Yes. Yes. That's always fun to get these teams right. Get the dynamic between characters and powers and stuff like that. That's always cool.
Yeah, there's the Law and Order specials that are available as add-ons.
With art by Bill Mouse.
Yeah, we have first issues by Dan Campos, second issues by Bill Mouse, third issue is by Milton Estevam, but all the covers are by Bill Mouse.
Really cool. That is awesome. Right. So
yeah, some of those other levels where you can get all the covers, or you can get the covers and the trades, or just the trades and one copy of the new book. So a lot for people to choose from.
yes, for $6 you have the digital already. That's nice. So it's always good to have. Sometimes I see like campaigns and they don't offer the digital edition, which is silly to me. You just give people the chance to support you with a digital, right? $6 you get the new book. Great. And from $10 you get the comic, the physical comic. Nice. And you have, what did you have? Like 5 or 6 covers to choose from. That's crazy. Oh, this one's 12.
Yeah,
because of the shapes. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I have to cover some of the expenses sometimes, depending on if I was what was charged or whatever. But I want to make most of them accessible.
Mm-hmm.
But then try to recoup on a couple of the covers. Fred Bennis, brother of Ed Bennis, at Ed Bennis Studio.
That's this one. Well, for $15 you get the Ed Bennis or the Fred Bennis cover.
Yeah, I think even my top price is comparable to
that's a fantastic price, man.
What people are putting out there.
And then we have a stretch goal cover by mystery artist. You won't tell yet.
What are we up to on the funding there?
Oh, let us see. Let us see, guys. 11 backers, 462 euro. Yeah, this euro. Sorry, these euros. Let me.
I can look over here.
Let me.
As a screen.
There we go. I will convert it to US, and we have. Oh, it looks like you made your goal, sir.
$539.
Yeah, the $500 goal, and you made 539. Yeah. Excellent.
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yes!
You are funded.
Yes, but of course we could still use everyone's support because that funding is like a token amount just because I know I'm going to put the book out. And of course that doesn't cover our expenses. We'll give this a Genuine Comics exclusive right now and just say that Arnaldo Jr., the artist on those preview pages, has a cover, and that will be our stretch goal cover to reach 1,000. So
Wow, Ronaldo Jr. And then people can get the
that cover
exclusive
will be
new
added
cover.
on to the campaign.
Wow, excellent. All right, guys, let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. Share out this campaign, guys. Share it all across social media. People need to know about Argo Comics. This is fantastic work, Dan. Really cool.
Yeah, I'm quite happy with it. And like I said, they have a good fight in this one. And basically, Gladiatra's powers: super strength, flying. She has laser vision, nearly indestructible. Law and Order, of course, she has agility. She has her quick thinking, but she does have, being that she has to deal with superhuman elements, she has special rounds for her gun that can, not too unlike Green Arrow having special arrows. She has special rounds, and usually also in her own specials, she has the ability to, to kind of blend into a crowd because she's so small. She can hide, do stuff like that. Yeah.
But she has like bullets that can harm these super people in your world.
Yeah, depending on their power
level. Yeah. What are these super people called, by the way, in your universe?
I go with mega heroes because for the longest time, the big two had a trademark on superheroes.
Right.
Now that has been relinquished, I could go with superheroes. But I had kind of established mega heroes. And, Gladiatra's father was Megamax, the world's greatest superhero. So it ties into that mega. So I keep it as mega heroes. But there was a comic book, Superhero Happy Hour, that was legally forced to change their name to Hero Happy Hour.
Yeah, that's silly,
after
man.
They got some cease and desist.
That's crazy. That's crazy. Right. Guys, check out the campaign. Go share it out. Let me remove this. There we go. Wow. Dan, thank you so much for being my guest for today. It was fantastic. It was really cool to talk to you and to see your latest book, your latest campaign. Already funded, so congratulations.
No, I really appreciate you having me on. Long overdue, as we've, I guess, way back in Creators United, maybe the beginning of that.
Yeah, man. We know each other for years, but really never did this before. So that's crazy. Right. All right, then. People can also follow you on YouTube, right? You have a YouTube channel?
Yeah, I have a YouTube channel showing basically what indie comics I'm picking up. But yeah, I will promote my own stuff there as well. Because as you said, I'm not really a YouTuber. I am a guy trying to sell my own comics as well. But yeah, Instagram, X, Facebook, YouTube. Most of it's Argo Comics, ARGO Comics. And I also have on Facebook Dan Sehn.
Great. All right. Guys, go follow Dan. Chat, thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us here, for watching, for your comments and your likes. So if you like this conversation, if you like this show, give it a like. If you didn't like the show, give it a dislike, and I'm very sorry. I'll be back next week with the new show. So new guest, same time, same channels, and I hope to see you guys back then. Have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, and bye-bye.
Take care, everybody.